welcome to LTC's virtual interview with Jay Linnehan, President and CEO of the Greater Lowell Community Foundation. On March 13th, the foundation established the Covid-19 Emergency Response Fund to help cover some of the needs in the community during this medical emergency. Jay, thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thank you so much for having me on.
Tell us about the fund and who's it helping right now?
Well, as you noted in your introduction, we established this fund back on the 13th. It was fairly evident, given what we were seeing that was going around us, that there was going to be some need in the community. And so we looked to see how we might be able to address that. So the foundation seeded that particular fund, and we've been fortunate since then to have a lot of people participate in it in large amounts and in small amounts. And just yesterday, and it was released in the news this morning, we were very pleased to get a $100,000 grant from Eastern Bank Foundation. And so that's going to allow us to do a lot more of what we've already done. But specific to your question, what have we done? I mean, our initial phase was, how can we get dollars out to the community very quickly? And we've been turning these over in 24 hours to the individuals that are dealing with the most vulnerable in our community, the folks that are dealing with with children and with the elderly and with the homeless. We're dealing with grants that were for food and for cleaning and supplies and things of that nature, and getting those right out the door. And we were fortunate enough in the cleaning respect, in the sanitation piece, to have a couple vendors that we had agreements with. So we actually received some supplies and got those out to some of the first responders that were dealing, again, on a day-to-day basis with a vulnerable population. So we've been really, really happy to be able to provide that service, and we've been really thrilled with the community responding with the way that they have.
Well, how many organizations have been getting money already, and how did you get this all going so quickly?
Well, the reason we got it going so quickly is because there's a great staff at the Greater Lowell Community Foundation. Everybody pitched in. We realized that, business, it's not business as usual right now. So it's, how do we get this together and get this out? And on a lot of different fronts. I mean, I've got, some really, really great people, as I mentioned, that part of it was, how do we reach out to the community? How do we do the needs assessment? I think one of the things that's really important about a community foundation is we're local. We know the community. So when all of a sudden a crisis like this hits us, we're not scrambling around looking to go, well, who do we need to call? We don't know about this or we don't know about that. We know exactly who to call. We've got lots of different folks in the community. We've worked with the city. We've worked with the director of public health at the city. We've talked to our elected officials, to our city officials, trying to get a pulse as to where are they seeing the pressure points and what type of support might we be able to provide on this initial phase that we're working at right now. And I think so far so good. I think we've got somewhere between 20, 25 grants out the door already. And again, we flip these around in like 24 hours out the door. And folks are aware that those checks will be in their hands very shortly.
That is so great. So the foundation funded this without any money in hand, just kind of started it up, assuming that you would get some money from the local banks or other places?
We had some dollars on our own fund, so we seeded it with Greater Lowell Community Foundation funds to start. But yes, you're correct. And then we went out to the community and said, this is the need that we see in our community, and will you help us do that? And the response has been very positive.
Well, I see your list of organizations that are already getting funding, and it's real variety, but a lot of the organizations provide food, provide services to seniors. What are some of the organizations that are taking advantage of this already?
Well, I mean, I mentioned the homeless population, so clearly we have got, St. Paul's Soup Kitchen that we help with bottled water and some food supplies. The End 68 Hours of Hunger over in Drake, the Lowell Transitional Living Center, which obviously is the shelter downtown, and the Westford Food Pantry and the Open Pantry of Greater Lowell that are dealing again with food insecurity. one of our key partners that we work with all the time is the Lowell Community Health Center, and we have reached out to them. We've worked closely with them also, trying to get them some sanitizing, some cleaning supplies, and what types of things that we can assist with them. Mill City Grows, Aaron's Presents. I mean, the list goes on. Folks that are dealing with vulnerable populations in our community, and we continue to reach out to them.
How do you think Lowell is doing in this crisis right now?
Well, I think the jury's still out, unfortunately. I think we'll have a better sense of this next week. I've been on a variety of different conference calls, Zoom calls actually, with folks from across this city, and it is a fluid process for sure. I mean, clearly there's a lot of money coming from the federal government. The state government is now sorting that out. I know the city's looking to see what they can do. Unfortunately, I don't think the worst has come yet, and we'll see that probably later this week or into next week. And so we're going to sit tight and see what happens. And we're available to provide the services that we can provide.
And how would nonprofits go about applying for funds?
They just touch base with us. I was making that comment the other day. I was on CAP, and I said, you definitely go to our website, and there is the ability to, one, if anybody wants to participate, and two, just send an email to me if anybody is interested, or to anybody on our staff. And we're picking up our voicemails all the time too, so the main number works as well.
Okay. And what is that email and voicemail?
Well, to email me, which is a great place to start, because I can move that wherever I need to in the organization, is jay@glcfoundation.org. And our main number, which we're still picking up, is 978-970-1600.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much for giving out all this information. Is there anything else you want people to know?
Well, I want people to be safe. I want people to pay attention to the doctors and the scientists, because they're the folks that knows what's going on here. The social distancing is extremely important. I mean, we are in a position, fortunately, to be able to help abate some of the crisis that we're facing, but we certainly have a monumental task in front of us, and everybody needs to pitch in so that we can flatten this curve and get through this and come out the other side.
Yeah, I totally agree. Well, thank you so much for joining us. And you at home, LTC is a conduit for important information to the community. And if your nonprofit has information you want to share, or if you're just an individual and want to share some video, please contact us at info@ltc.org. And thanks so much for watching, and stay safe.
Thank you.